What's going on, Mountaineer Nation? Welcome back into the Country Roads webcast here for another WVU football recruiting update as they continue to build the class of 2025, and they're doing a great job thus far, now locking down their 7th commitment, and it's another offensive lineman and yet another one from Good Counsel High School. You may have seen on the thumbnail there me asking if West Virginia has established the pipeline from Good Counsel to WVU, because it certainly seems that way, especially in terms of offensive linemen. Talk more on that here in a bit, but we need to discuss the subject of this video, of course, Gavin Crawford announcing yesterday his commitment to WVU, becoming the 7th member of the 2025 class as it stands right now in terms of verbal commitments, and it's one that we're really excited about. He had a ton of offers, a large offer list, and was a highly sought-after prospect. So let's take a look here. WV Sports Now article discussing his commitment, and then we'll take a look at his ranking on some recruiting services and dive into some highlights before we update our recruiting tracker here on the Country Roads webcast. All right. So let's get into it here. Like I said, from WVSN, Mike Asti with this article here. 2025 three-star offensive lineman Gavin Crawford officially declares his commitment to the Mountaineers. You see there's a nice picture of him from his visit. West Virginia's been in on him for a while. He had teased a big announcement, and of course that big announcement was his commitment to WVU. 6'4", 310-pounder, like I said, from Good Counsel High School in Olney, Maryland. And that's something we've got to talk about, because as far as that pipeline's concerned, I think that it's certainly seeming to be established, especially with Good Counsel offensive lineman there from that school in Olney, Maryland. I believe the full title is Lady of Good Counsel High School, if I'm not mistaken. But West Virginia in last year's class added Kyle Altuner from there, who is a center of the future. You know, me and my friend Mountaineer Paul have both spoken highly of him. We think he's got a chance to be a really good player. So they've added him. And then, of course, you guys may have seen in a previous recruiting update video I did here on the CRW. I'll try and put a playlist for all the recruiting updates right here. But one that we did was for Aiden Buchanan, another offensive lineman that is also from Good Counsel High School. So there you go. This being the 3rd offensive lineman in the last 2 classes, first of 2 in the upcoming 2025 class for WVU to join the Mountaineers. And the latest, of course, Gavin Crawford. Did you see his announcement there on social media? If you want to follow him, you can at _Gavin Crawford. There was his graphic, and he stated 100% committed, tagging Coach Matt Moore and Neil Brown, of course, and a nice picture there for his commitment graphic as you see him choosing WVU. Recently visited in mid-April. They have him as a top 20 player in Maryland. We're going to take a look at both those services momentarily, but like we said, serious competition for Crawford. So this kind of shows how highly sought after he was and how talented that he is when he had offers from a ton of programs. You see some of the names there: Boston College, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Michigan State, Syracuse, that other school up north, all of those things. So great offers, a highly sought after prospect. Let's take a look at his ranking on some of those services. As we look here first, 247 Sports, like we said, very highly sought after, have him as a top 20 player in Maryland, one of the top 50 offensive linemen in the country, 87 grade. So, you know, one of the high-end 3-star players there that West Virginia's getting a commitment from. The composite ranking has him nearly top 15 players in Maryland. Great size there, 6'4", 300 pounds. And then you go over here to Rivals. They have him also highly rated there, 5.7 Rivals rating. They have him as a top 15 player in the state, actually, number 14, and number 3 at his position there as well. So highly regarded on both services. But how about some highlights of some standout plays right here from Gavin Crawford's junior season here? This is courtesy of his huddle, as you'll see here on the screen. But I'm not going to play all these. We'll play through about the first 3 plays. I'll link the entire video. If you want to watch it in its entirety, you can do that. Let me make it full screen here, and we'll take a look at a couple of these plays because they're pretty impressive. Here at the beginning, we're going to get to see him, you know, pulling even, and, you know, a couple of pancakes right off the bat. You see him highlighted before each play. Here he comes pulling right and absolutely levels that guy, opens up a nice hole for the running back. And here's another one. Watch this athleticism. Quick on the pull, and then absolutely flattened a guy with just a quick punch there. And then one more we'll look at here. Yet again, driving the man to the ground, opening up a nice hole for the running back there. And one more time for good measure, why don't we? Another good play there from Gavin Crawford, the latest Mountaineer commitment here, someone that we're really excited about here, the Mountaineers adding to this class. So with that, we can go ahead now and pull up our CRW recruiting tracker that we use here on the Country Roads webcast, trying to keep up with both these future classes, you guys may know, I previously did another update. West Virginia already has a commitment for the 2026 class, but that's something they're building down the line. Won't be talking about that too much, but we are talking about this 2025 class a lot. West Virginia continuing to establish it and getting a great jump start on it here with all the additions that they have. There you see the previous 6, and of course now we can add the subject of this video, Gavin Crawford, in here to the list along with the others. Like we said, 6'4", 300 pounds, and he's from the state of Maryland. So continuing the theme of what West Virginia was kind of doing early in this class, locking down West Virginia and locking down the borderline states. You see all the commits, save for Jackson Aquardi, the tight end West Virginia was able to acquire from Wisconsin, all from West Virginia or borderline state. Gavin Crawford joining that list there. Another player from Maryland. You see the other one I talked about, Aiden Buchanan earlier, 6'8" offensive lineman from Good Counsel High School that's joining the Mountaineers. So both Buchanan and Crawford coming to WVU from Good Counsel High School, maybe establishing that pipeline of offensive linemen leaving there and coming to WVU. Hopefully it continues in the future. We've had it in the 2024 class, now 2 linemen here in the 2025 class. Both highly sought after. I'm super excited about this edition of Gavin Crawford. But of course, that's just my opinion on this edition. Would love to hear yours as well. Share it in the comments down below. Always appreciate those interactions here on the Country Roads webcast, as we always trying to continue to build up the CRW community here. And in addition to that, another addition to the community lately is channel memberships. You hit the join button down below. You can get in. You get you some cool WVU football helmet badges. You get early access to podcast episodes. And then if you move up to the Almost Heaven level, you get game rewatch commentaries, and even have the ability to select your own game for me to rewatch and do a commentary for, as well as members only live streams and a lot of fun stuff that we do there, hanging out with members there of the channel here at the CRW. So if you're interested in doing that and supporting the channel further, you can do that now by hitting the join button below, and surely do appreciate everyone that chooses to do that here on the channel. But having said that, really appreciate you sharing your thoughts in the comments on the addition of Gavin Crawford and how this 2025 WVU football recruiting class is shaping up thus far. Always appreciate you guys doing that. And then one more request, just as you head out, hit that thumbs up button. Helps a ton with the YouTube algorithm, helps get this video pushed out to more people, and that also helps the channel grow. And that's fast, easy, and free to do. So that just provides a quick and easy way for you to support us and help us out here on the Country Roads webcast. Having said that, be on the lookout for further WVU football recruiting content coming in the near future, and of course continuing through the off season to what's going to be a fun and successful 2024. We'll be talking about it a ton here on the CRW, so be sure to subscribe here if you're a WVU football fan. Having said that, as always, I'm Jordan Cruz, and until next time, let's go Mountaineers.